What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Snob here, back again with a new episode of the Snob Reviews. And continuing on, this is the season finale review for The Mandalorian, Chapter 8, Redemption. This season has been phenomenal. So I just want to say before we really get started, if you haven't watched the season, check it out. It's just magnificent, terrific. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is as much Star Wars as the Holy Trilogy. It's just fantastic. It follows up Return of the Jedi perfectly. And just gives us everything we want and more. So many Easter eggs, but it's so original as well. So, with that being said, there are going to be spoilers in this. And I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm not going to go over the whole episode. I'm going to talk about things that I really liked in the episode, what I liked about an episode, what it did for the season to cap it off, and what I'm looking forward to in season 2. So, but before I get started, like I said, spoilers. So if you want to check it out and then you want to come back and check out the review, definitely do that. But give us a like and give us a subscribe. Very much appreciate it. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Scene Snob, and you can come give us a like on Facebook or the Scene Snobs page. Lots of responses. We there's a nice community there of watchers like you, and everybody's kind of just has fun talking about it. So, I'm anxious to hear from more people. So, and spread the word. You like thescenesnobs.com, where we have all our podcasts and everything else, and our reviews and such. Let people know. Really appreciate it, though. So, this was the season finale. And now, if you listen to the Scene Snobs podcast, which I do, which is a weekly review, I've been doing the Watchmen reviews on there. And here, Mandalorian's having his own, and these are two of my favorite shows from this year. And two of my favorite shows, just in general, they're fantastic. But like I said, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy The Mandalorian. I've said this before. It is a great send up to the Western genre. Pedro Pascal does amazing as Din Djarin, which we learn in this episode is his name, the Mandalorian that we speak of in the title. Carl Weathers was great as Grief Karga. Just so many. There's so many people who did fantastic. And Taika Waititi directed this episode, which, if you're going to go strong, if you're going to go out strong and get I don't want to say the best director, because the directors were just fantastic all throughout, but he is the most seasoned, and I will say he is the best. Now, that doesn't mean that these other episodes weren't magnificent and well-directed, and those other directors deserve their accolades. They do. Especially Deborah Chow. Her episodes were fantastic. And really just kind of stepped out of the element and just done fantastically. So when we get into it with this episode, there's so much that happens. It picks up right where the last episode, Chapter 7, left off, and they just keep it going, man. They are pinned down. Baby Yoda is taken. But the beginning of the episode, they give us the speeder bike troopers. They stop and they're waiting for word to come back into town. And it's played comedically. It's Adam Paley and Jason Sudeikis are the troopers in this. And you never see their faces, of course, but it is in the credits, so I stuck around to check it out. And they just play the comedy perfectly. And it's kind of what you expect from stormtroopers, like they're hearing that Moff Gideon is tearing people apart, so just hold on, wait for word. And the whole thing works. I really liked it. I thought it was funny. And then you get IG-11 coming back in, and he saves Baby Yoda. And then he goes and he saves everybody else. And the whole episode is their escape from Moff Gideon, to get off the planet and just get away from everybody. And they really do a number. They fight, and it's a great fight. Along with that, you have IG-11, which I'm glad turned out to be a really good and respectable droid in the show. You do get Pedro Pascal's face shot. Like, he does take off his helmet, but it works. Part of me was like, I hope he never takes off his helmet, but, you got to give the guy a chance to breathe. You got to give him a little face time. I mean, he's done so much for the show, so it was cool, and they did it the right way. You had Giancarlo Esposito channeling this galaxy far, far away version of Gus Fring. He was just perfect as Moff Gideon. And more on him in just a few minutes. I mean, he's bad. He's a badass in this, and it's fantastic. And it's just a breath of fresh air to see him because he's believable as a villain. He plays respectable and good guy, great too. He's a fantastic actor, but just as a villain, he kills it. So we go through the episode. We have a lot of heartstring moments, which were fantastic. Everything was just played really well. A lot of moments of action that was just terrific. I really like that Grief Karga ended up being an ally in the end. A trusted ally of the Mandalorians in the end. I dug that. And, he and Cara Dune at the end, they go off, because now the Imperial threat is off the planet. And he's like, well, I'm going to go start up the guild again. You're a welcome member. But the reason that he has to leave, the Mandalorian has to leave, is that Baby Yoda is a foundling, just like he was. He was saved by the Mandalorians and the Night of 1,000 Tears, which was the Imperial onslaught of the Mandalores. And, his parents got killed and he was taken in. And when you're taken in, you find out you're taken in by a Mandalorian, they train you in the ways. And when you come of age, you become one unless they find your homeworld. Like, he didn't have a homeworld. Everything was gone. It was time for him to come back. So it was time for him to go and become a Mandalorian. That's how it worked out for him. But Baby Yoda is now a foundling, we found out. So the Mandalorian has to take Baby Yoda and either return him to his home planet, which they know nothing about, or they have to take him and he has to train him. He has to be a father figure to him, which I thought was fantastic. They even said it was like, you have to be like a father. And that's the creed. That's the oath. This is the way. So I just thought that was beautiful and honorable. It was sad to see what happened to the Mandalorians, the whole faction, or clan, I should say. And they were all, not all wiped out, but some escaped. But a lot of them lost their armor and their lives, and that was really tough scene to see. But with the blacksmith, you get a lot of really cool scenes. Again, there's some of my favorite things, and it opens it up for next season. Now, with all of the great things in this episode that I want people to go and watch, and making it a fantastic episode, and capping off the season perfectly, and giving a reason why he's now, the child is his, until he can either bring it home, and you get a very cool Force sequence in it where he stops fire, and by a very awesome looking torch unit stormtrooper. So, and the reason I bring that up is so he's so powerful in the Force as we've seen, and I've seen it going on. We now have, he's going to be trained in the ways of the Mandalorian, and that's just the way it is. And if he can't find his homeworld by the time he comes of age, he will be, Baby Yoda will be a Mandalorian. And so definitely looking forward to seeing where this goes. I think that would be a much cooler way to go, personally. If they never find a Force using, which isn't original, there's lore, go back and read it, and they actually touch down on it in this. And that being that, I can't remember, I think it's Vizsla, was the first Jedi Mandalorian, and he had the black saber. And the reason I bring that up is because in the end, we have the Mandalorian now getting his jetpack. He earned it. Went and fought Moff Gideon in his TIE fighter and took it out in a very cool way. And then you have the Jawas kind of sifting through the wreckage, and then boom, black saber comes through it, and Moff Gideon has a black saber. Now, last time we saw the black saber, I think it was back on Mandalore. That was Rebels. Sabine brought it back, and she was like the rightful leader of the Mandalorians, because she could wield the black saber, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched the show, so that's about 8 years or so, 8 to 10 years between this. Now Moff Gideon has it, and what does that mean? Was he a Mandalorian that joined up with the Empire, or did he take it in another onslaught? There's just so many questions that season 2 can answer, and having him as the big bad, and is he a Force user? We don't know. We haven't seen it, so we're not sure. There's so many questions that season 2 is now, the door is open, and we have some of our favorite characters. Unfortunately, IG-11 did not make it. He sacrificed himself in a beautiful fashion, and that was the end of him. But at the end of the episode, we get the black saber. Moff Gideon has it. That opens up the questions for that. And if we finally do have Baby Yoda becoming a Mandalore with Force user, does he earn the black saber? I mean, that's going to be far down the line, but it will be cool to see how it gets there. So, I am excited. This is a terrific way to end this season and leave things open with an already approved season 2 coming. Jon Favreau knocks it out of the park. He and his team that he assembled and put together for this. I mean, we owe the guy for so much. I could go down the line, but you all know. And now Star Wars owes him a great debt for one of the best live action shows ever, let alone one of the best live action shows for Star Wars. The only live action show for Star Wars, really. So, with that being said, go check it out. If you haven't watched The Mandalorian, watch the show. It's fantastic. Like I said, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan. It helps. You notice a lot more. But even if you're kind of, just a fan of the movies, check out the show. It's fantastic. And go back and check out Clone Wars. Check out Rebels, because you will see the black saber as it comes out. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let me know what you guys thought. Message me or comment below. I really love to hear what everybody thinks of this show, and especially this episode. But until next time, which will be season 2, I will be doing other reviews of other things, of course, but for The Mandalorian, until next time for season 2, may the Force be with you.